Right, I didn't plan on doing another one of these videos tonight, or today, I should say, as this video goes out. But I have to, because if I get rid of that, hello, again, wasn't planning on doing. You can tell I'm going off the cuff because look. First of all, as you can see, it looks like it's the night time because it is. This is a pre-recorded video. I'm recording this immediately after the Lens Arsenal match. This video is on. You will see this video the day after that on the Wednesday. So that makes sense. It's a pre-recorded video. So if you can't see any messages pop up in the chat, that's why, because I can't see the future. Well, I can see the future, and that is Arsenal probably losing to Man City in the same fashion as we lost to Lens, because that's what we do. It has finished in the Champions League. Lens 2, Arsenal 1. That's right, we have just lost to a team that is 15th in the French League and 1 point off relegation. Yeah. Which means that the only unbeaten team, well, yes, they lost on penalties, but the only unbeaten team in all competitions is Tottenham Hotspur. They went out the Carabao Cup, I know, but it was a 1-1 draw. In terms of results, 90-minute results, the only unbeaten side of the league is the ever so failing Tottenham Hotspur. Funny that. Okay, so where do I even begin with this? You can tell I'm going off the cuff immediately after the result on this. Right, to start off, let's talk about the manager, shall we? I'm not calling him. I'm not calling him by his name. I'm calling him by a nickname that I have called him. And that is the Spanish Solskjaer. Because that's what he was tonight. He was the Spanish Solskjaer. I did this tweet, as you can see, saying spot the difference challenge, impossible edition. Can you spot the difference? Because I can't. Maybe they got 2 badges on their coats. That's about it. And I got a lot of flack for that. I got a bit of criticism for posting that tweet. Well, what let me reiterate again. We've just lost to a team that is 15th in the French League, 1 point off relegation. I don't care if it's in the Champions League where all the teams are going to be evenly matched. Ooh. No, we're not evenly matched. We're a team that's meant to be unbeaten in the Premier League. And Lens are a team that are nearly relegated. You can't make this up. That is a tactically inept defeat if I've seen one. A lot of the decisions were completely wrong. For starters, let's talk about Bukayo Saka. Everybody and their mother, even even the Arsenal fans with their rose-tinted glasses on. That's the Trossard celebration, isn't it? Even the Arsenal fans with their rose-tinted glasses on, who can like to stick their heads in the sand. Even they knew that Bukayo Saka was not fit enough to start. It was blatantly obvious he needs to be rested and ready to play against Man City. Guess what? The Spanish Solskjaer started him because, of course, he was on 20% fitness, 10% fitness if it was on FIFA, okay? He was not on good terms in terms of health whatsoever, yet he continues to start. Oh, and what was it? 15 minutes, 20 minutes in, he gets injured. Of course he does. Of course he does. And you could see it coming from a mile off. He didn't look fit to play at all. Why would you play him? You should have rested him for the big game coming up on Sunday. Yes, I know both games are big games, but against Man City in a potentially title race style game, you need your best players. You rested Saka for that, and you should have started Smith Rowe, like I've been calling out for. He actually made somewhat of an effort when he came on. But yeah, still gotta play Saka even though he's not fit enough, and he gets injured. And what happens? What does the Spanish Solskjaer do? Does he bring a player like Reece Nelson on? Does he bring Smith Rowe on, who suits that position? Don't be silly, that's too obvious. He plays Fabio Vieira. He plays a central midfielder on the right wing. Tactical masterclass. Tactical masterclass. Absolutely brilliant. Now, okay, we did go 1-0 up through a Gabriel Jesus goal, and it was a good finish as well. But it's not important. It's not important because we lost. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Absolutely embarrassing defeat. We looked in control when we were winning, but we go and let in a silly goal to make it 1-1, and since then we were flat. Completely flat. It was embarrassing in the highest order. And it's just the equaliser, right? I don't know. I'm absolutely speechless. I'm just going through some kind of things that I jotted down. Anyone could have seen. Anyone could have seen that Saka was not fully fit. He still plays him. And now he could potentially, even though some people are saying, "Oh, don't worry, it's all right." He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be fit enough for the City game. So there you go. So that'll teach all the Arsenal fans for celebrating about Rodri getting sent off. We're not going to have Saka. Brilliant. And just the tactical decisions, right? As the second half started, we were again completely flat. We didn't look like scoring. We weren't good enough. This was a Champions League, Champions League game against a side that's 15th in the French league. I mean, they're not no pushovers, right? Aren't they? 60 minutes gone. Any manager, any reasonable manager could have realised, oh, we're not looking that good. Maybe I should change tactics a bit. Maybe I should make a substitution before, I don't know, it gets any worse. Maybe I shouldn't have brought on a central midfielder to bring on the right wing. Maybe I shouldn't have brought Fabio Vieira on for Bukayo Saka. Maybe it's a bit of a mismatch. Anyway, Lons go 2-1 up, and we looked absolutely shocking. And then is the time that the Spanish Solskjaer makes the substitutions. You cannot write it. When this happens, he always does this. This is what I hate about our manager. Yes, he's got his strong points. We've seen against Bournemouth. When he gets it right, and that's good. But when he gets it wrong, it is embarrassing. He gets it spectacularly wrong. And only when we go 2-1 down with 75 minutes to go, then he makes the substitutions. Then he brings on Smith Rowe. Then he brings on Reece Nelson. Then he takes off Kai Havertz, who, by the way, Kai Havertz had a fantastic game today. It's just that the game he was playing was hide and seek. 60 million down the drain. Not my words. The words of the Arsenal fans against Bournemouth. 60 million down the drain. Havertz has flopped again. Yep. Again. So where are they now? Where are those Arsenal fans now? All going cock-a-hoop when he scored that penalty and treating him like he was a second coming of Pele. Good God Almighty. And it's... Oh, by the way, is it Wahi who got that goal for Lons? He looked very good. He looked a very good striker. Almost as if having a very good out-and-out striker up top makes the difference. Funny that. Oh, and with Saka potentially being injured for the Man City game, it wouldn't surprise me if Declan Rice is out for the Man City game, because I hear that he's suffering from chronic back pain from carrying this entire team in that Champions League game. Didn't do a good job. Didn't carry them enough though. At least he tried. He's the only player that he was the only player that did try. Okay, Jesus got the goal, but where was he afterwards? I lost my train of thought. The midfield, apart from Declan Rice, was weak. You know, there's a 65, 60 million pound reason why that might be the case. Maybe. And like I say before, getting rid of Xhaka was not the problem. The problem was we replaced him with a worse player. And I'm going to continue saying this until I've gone purple in the face. James Maddison. Look at what he's doing for Tottenham. He is single-handedly, him and Son, but Maddison as well, single-handedly going to make Tottenham Hotspur contenders for the title. He is that good. We had the opportunity to sign him. Nah. A very good player. He's been relegated to the Championship. He might want to go to a big club. Yeah, let's get another Chelsea flop instead. Oh, what's that? Maddison has gone to Tottenham for much cheaper, and he's being one of the best players in the Premier League at the moment. James Ward-Prowse as well. Look, I mentioned this in the other video, another video that I did. I wrote it on a flip chart. I don't have a flip chart because if I did, I would have wrote down again all the players that are better than Kai Havertz. But you know, the flip chart's not big enough, and there's not enough sheets of paper for that. Yeah. So desperate times call for desperate measures. 85th minute. You gotta bring on the big guns, eh? He takes Odegaard off. And who does he bring on? Yep, Eddie Nketiah. The Spanish Solskjaer, like I say, the substitutions were either completely wrong, or if they were right, they were at the wrong blooming time. Vieira on for Saka. You had Reece Nelson and Emil Smith-Rowe right there, and you go and bring on a central midfielder. You should have taken Havertz off at half-time and brought Vieira on in that position. But instead you put him on the wing. Why? He's not a winger. He's played there in pre-season, I get it, but he's not a winger. He's not an out-and-out winger anyway. Pre-season... You have Reece Nelson. What does he have to do? Does it have to be Carabao Cup games for him? Because he's actually quite decent. He's been all right for us. He should have started. I would rather take a fully fit Reece Nelson over a 25% fit Bukayo Saka. And look at what happened. Oh yeah, Fabio Vieira will be better. If I was Reece Nelson, I'd be fuming. I'd be tempted to hand in a transfer request. As Emil Smith-Rowe as well. What's he got to do to get a start? Smith-Rowe comes on very late on. Nketiah, he had a good chance to put it level as well, I think. And Trossard as well. But as my late great granddad, Thomas Wanless, would say, nearly is not enough. And we paid the price for that. And lo and behold, as I scroll through Twitter, I'm seeing the same old boys, the same old people. Oh, it was a bad day at the office. We go again. Heads up, on to the next. It was a blip. Lens were 15th in the French league, 1 point off relegation. It is not a bad day at the office. It is not a blip. It is a catastrophically embarrassing humiliation. It is an embarrassing defeat in the highest order. Because we had a tactically inept manager. Where was the Arteta that we had against Bournemouth? The Spanish Solskjaer. You couldn't tell the difference in the dugout. You could tell that with the substitutions, with the tactics. It was a shambles. And if you think Lens was probably the easiest team we could have faced. If we can't beat Lens away from home, What about when we go to Sevilla away? You think that attack's going to get past Sergio Ramos? No, of course it isn't. PSV away? We couldn't even do that in the Europa League. What makes you think we're going to beat Sevilla away from home? What makes you think we're going to beat PSV away from home? And we're going to play like this against Lens, relegation candidates for the French League. Why? Sure, I mean, look, I know every game's different, but if we continue playing like this, where heads just drop and we just look lost, there's no backup tactic, there's no plan B, there's nothing. Completely spineless performance. Oh, and apparently, according to the Spanish Solskjaer himself, Bukayo Saka's injury doesn't look good. Why did you play him then? He was not fully fit. He came off limping against Bournemouth. Yeah, let's start him in midweek. Oh, he's injured. Oh, I didn't expect that. Quickly, bring the central midfield. The right winger is injured. Bring on the central midfielder, please. Oh, yes, I know we've got Nelson and Smith Rowe on. No, bring the central midfielder on. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Because it goes and loses 2-1 to relegation candidates in the French League. Shambolic. And we got Man City next. You think we're going to beat City if we play like that? Because believe me, it's just... As you can tell, with me calling Arteta the Spanish Solskjaer, I'm losing my patience with him. If anything, I've lost it. I've lost my patience with him. At this rate, it's going to have to take a miracle for me to go and say Arteta's the man. Because he got it completely wrong today. Havertz as well. What do you know? It's just... It's horrible. Maybe. Yeah, it's just... Look, I'm absolutely lost for words. Lost for words on this, and I think that's probably going to be it. Don't listen to all these people on Twitter. It's not a bad day at the office. Oh, it's not something to go just... They're just like, yeah, it's all right. Doesn't matter. It's only the Champions League. It's only the biggest competition in European football. I've only just lost to a team that it's 15th in the French League. And yeah, we can focus on, well, it's all right. We've lost to relegation candidates. We could still potentially play Real Madrid. Oh, another thing Arsenal fans keep saying, hey, at least we're not Man United, eh? Am I right? I don't care. I don't give a fadoodle. I don't give a flying fadoodle about Man United. Let their fans deal with their problems. I'm focusing on our problems. The problems Arsenal have. The problems on losing like that. If our manager throws away the Champions League, if we get knocked out in the group stage after 7 years of waiting to get into that competition, regardless of where we are in the league, that's it. I'm breaking up with him. I'm calling for him to go. I did not wait 7 years for a performance like that in the Champions League. If we get knocked out in the group stages, you will hear from me. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed now because at time of recording, it's currently 22:47. Will I sleep tonight? Probably not, because I'm so angry. But don't worry, it's just a blip, isn't it? Just a blip. It's just the Champions League. Pathetic. Anyway, We're going to probably do another video, myself and Lee Meadows, probably with a guest as well, on Thursday, I think. Hopefully I would have calmed down by then. If not, it's going to be one hell of a video. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at Posh Bertie and Instagram at Bertie Wanless. And yeah, this has been Posh's Pipe Bomb. Look in my eyes, what do you see? An embarrassing defeat in the Champions League.